welcome to another episode of the Meek podcast. I'm your host, Meek. And today, I want to share some of my opinion. It's like, girl, you do that every time you come here. But today, I want to share my opinion on single mothers and dating single mothers and what to look for when dating a single mother. Before we get into today's topic, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Follow me on Instagram, pick_Meek, and follow me on Twitter/X. If there are any topics, any suggestions, or any kind words you would just like to tell me, feel free to email them over at pickmeekpodcast@gmail.com. I would like to hear from some of you. It would be nice. Be sure to leave comments, timestamps, whatever you feel is important to have this conversation. Do it all below because I would like to hear your opinions. Like, I get comments, but I don't get many. So I would love for you guys to interact with me more, just so I know whether or not the content is good. Because how would I know? So let's get busy. Let's get started. I have honestly wanted to record this episode for quite a while. I tried to record it the other day, but I just couldn't get my thoughts to come all the way together. I keep trying to be this type of person that can freestyle content, and I'm really not that type of person. Like, having a conversation and freestyle is different from me trying to cover a topic. And then it's like I don't really have space in my phone, so I don't really do much with my phone but important stuff. So I don't like taking notes there. So then I'm like all old school. I take written notes. Like, I took written notes because writing is just easier for me, and it gives me a chance to slow down and not overload myself with technology. But I'm really excited about this topic because I honestly, guys, I don't feel like all single moms are a lost cause. And of course, a bit of my opinion is biased because I am a single mom. But I meet great women that just so happen to have a child. So if we're all being more godlike, we cannot treat people like they're mistakes, right? The Lord says that he forgives us for our sins. So I just don't understand why people on this earth be acting the way they be acting, like we all not guilty of falling victim to the skin, the flesh. But whatever, I'm not here to preach that message. But I do want to talk about this topic because if I believe that the Lord forgives me for mistakes that I have made, I have to trust that the Lord has put it into a man's heart to forgive me for the choice that I made. Because I wouldn't be a true believer if I didn't believe that, right? So I pray for Mr. Perfect. I be praying for him because he exists. He's out there, y'all. Keep hope alive. But anyway, I would like to share my opinion on the different categories of single mothers that exist and the ones that I recommend you should date, because again, I don't think we're all lost cause. I would like to start off by saying what a single mom is, because a lot of people have misconceptions and different definitions of what a single mom is. I will specify what my definition is as I'm talking about it. Like right now, I will specify my definition of it so there's no confusion as to what category of women I'm speaking about. So for me, a single mom is absolutely a choice. And it is any woman who decided to reproduce for a man not married, out of wedlock. That's it. That's just all it is for me. So if you got pregnant, you had a baby by a man that didn't make you his wife, and you're a single mom. That's it. That's how I make my definition. Those are the group of women I'm speaking about. I would like to give a disclaimer. The women that I will not be addressing at all in the least bit as I'm covering these topics is it's one specific category of women. It is women who are widows, You know, that's not a choice. You do not choose to lose your husband. The Lord calls him home. So I don't think those women should be treated nearly the same as the women who made a choice to do it by themselves, and women who products of SA. And y'all know what SA is. If you don't know what SA is, please Google it, because I'm not saying that because this is the first 7 minutes and YouTube don't play that, y'all. I learned YouTube don't play that. So you know, children that were created during unholy act that a woman did not desire to have. So those, you know, God bless her heart for even having that baby, because it couldn't be me. So women that fall in these categories, I'm not discussing them. No widows and no women who were victims of SA. They are not in this conversation. Treat them how you deem appropriate to treat them in your own life, but I'm recommending that you treat them more godlike and with love, no judgment. Because again, those two women didn't have a choice. A decision was made for them. So I'm talking about the women who had a choice, the ones, us, who, you know, we had plenty of time to make a decision. We laid down. Like, first and foremost, choices. I want to address this first before I get into the topic, because I hate when I hear people say, you're talking as if becoming a single mom is a choice. Ma'am, it is. At what point has becoming a mother never been a choice? Like, the actual ability, any child that's on this earth was a decision that one of us made. One of us said we want to be a mama, and we became a mama. And with new technology, new resources, just being in right now in 2023, it's really no reason to have a baby that you don't desire or that you don't want. But you know, if you don't choose, if it's not a choice that you want, you don't have to have it. You know, none of us are forced into having sex, because like I said, I'm not discussing those women. I'm discussing the women who said fully, we made the decision, I want to partake in fornicating. Fornicating is fornication. I want to participate in fornication. We made that decision. Whatever age we were, it was a choice that we made. Nobody forced us. I wanted to, we did it. There are 33 forms of birth control currently. There are multiple styles. There is non-hormonal and hormonal birth control pills. They have the ones that you can put into yourself for years, and they have the ones that you can take orally daily. You can get a shot. You can get it's a patch. The options are endless, guys. It's really no reason as to why your eggs should be free and able to be fertilized at any point. There are also more options, and then along with birth control, that includes condoms. You know how I feel about condoms. I don't trust them. I would never just say have sex with a condom. I recommend condoms and some other form of birth control. So maybe a condom and a pill, condom and an IUD, condom and something. I would never just say just a condom. Even if you're gonna do a condom, I would highly suggest still pulling out. I wouldn't even suggest releasing inside of the club, because it's not a good idea. I wouldn't recommend it. Me, you know, everybody lives their life differently, but I wouldn't recommend it. There also is the pull-out method. It's not as effective as those other contraceptions, but it still has a pretty high prevention rate. It's about 78%. So that's still pretty decent. It's not 100, but it's still pretty decent compared to no protection at all. Just going in there raw dogging it. It's better than that. So those are your birth control options. Oh, and then also there is plan B. So if in the event that, you know, pulling out doesn't happen, or your other contraceptions fail you, you do have a 72-hour window where you can go get a plan B. There's also a new brand out. I haven't tried it. The reviews are pretty good about it. But Julie's out there. They're also an emergency contraception that you can take within 72 hours to prevent your egg from being fertilized, you know, just in case you were the club was shot up. So yeah, it's too many choices. So because we have all of those choices, and then I didn't even finish all the choices, so that's just your birth control options. So then after you give birth, I'm not sure what the rule is everywhere, but I know in my state, in Ohio, you actually can leave the hospital without any questions being asked. So you're allowed to give birth and request to be discharged without being required to take the baby home, and they won't do anything criminally against you. You won't be arrested. They won't call the police. Like, none of that will happen. If you say, I do not want this baby, I don't want to take it home, they will make sure the baby is placed into the system. That's first and foremost. Maybe you think because this happens. I liked my kid while I was pregnant, but I didn't fall in love with him until I met him. Like, I had to meet him because, you know, like, for me, pregnancy was a punishment. So I had to meet him to see him as not a burden. So once I met my son, I loved him instantly. And I was like, I couldn't imagine letting anybody raise him and cause him harm. So I didn't want him to not live here. Like, I brought him home. But if in the event that you get your baby home and you think it is something that you want to do, and then within a couple days it's something that's not, like, it's overwhelming. Parenthood is no joke. It's not for the weak. So these first few days with the baby at home by yourself, you might be like, oh no, this is too much for me, I don't want to do it. Which also gives you the option, here you have 7 days to drop a baby off to a safe space. So here, first, most people think of the fire station. You can go to any fire station in the city and leave your baby there as long as it's under 1 week old. No questions asked. Police won't be called on you. They won't ask your name. And then the last option, at any point, however long you decide to be a parent, I would hope you would want to do it immediately so you don't destroy that baby too much. But the last option is just submitting your child to become a ward of the state. You can relinquish your rights over to the state, and I don't want to do this, and they will take the baby. So if for any reason after getting the baby home you decide that you don't want to raise it, you do have the option of relinquishing your rights over to your state and submitting the baby or the child to become a ward of the state, because you can do that at any time. Here you can, here in my state, you can actually contact 696 Kids and you can let them know that you are an overwhelmed parent, and they will come and remove your child. They will. So it's too many, for me, it's too many options for y'all to make the excuses like, you act like becoming a single mom is a choice. It is, because I just listed 5 things alone that you could do to make sure that you're not a mother. You can prevent the baby from being created, or you can get rid of the responsibility of having to take care of the baby once the baby is here. So becoming a mom is 110% a personal choice. It is a choice, and it's a selfish one. But you know, especially when it's a selfish choice when you're doing it outside of a marriage, because children they're for families. They're supposed to be building families. Like, we shouldn't just be having babies with men we're dating. So okay, so now that we've discussed the options as to how we can become mothers, let's discuss the different categories of mothers. Okay, I hope that sounds weird, but okay, so to me, 2 categories, so it's 3 total, but you know, I've already said I'm not discussing the one I will not be discussing is widows and products and victims of SA. Those women will not be discussed. Those women are not in these numbers. That in my configurations, I am not discussing them, okay? Please understand that. So there are 2 categories. There is the young and dumb category, and there's the old and stupid category. I'm a simple gal, really easy names. So what makes you young and dumb? Anytime you have a kid under 21. 21 and under, you're a young and dumb gal. What makes you old and stupid? 22 and over. Anything over 22 makes you old and stupid. Because again, these are bad choices. It's not like we understand fully, right? I understood fully that once I became a single mom, my child would be at a disadvantage. When I had my son in 2011, I looked up the stats that were against black boys, like, and it was a 70% chance that he would end up in prison being raised by a single mother. Now the stats says 75%, but I heard the numbers are down per medium man. I'll have to watch that video fully, but yeah. So because I understood that as a single mom, like, I was always trying to think of ways to make sure I could counteract that. Like, okay, I don't have him a dad, but let me find other ways to fulfill that void so he doesn't end up out here goofy, essentially. So because we understand the reality of it, like, there are not a bunch of LeBrons. LeBron was raised by a single mother, but LeBron does not make up the majority. Majority of men who are raised by single mothers end up with a very short end of the stick. So because I understood that, I still was selfish enough to make the decision. So there isn't a woman who doesn't understand that on this earth. There is not a single, open the book, open your phone, turn on the internet. If you were not privy to this information prior to this conversation, it kind of makes me wonder where you've been for the last few decades. But you know, I'm not here to educate you on that. You can educate yourself. But there are disadvantages just for being people of color, but it's even harder when we decide to raise our children by ourselves. And I'm not saying that there are no disadvantages for young women, because this whole promiscuity culture that's being pushed, that's simply the product, this whole promiscuity culture that's being pushed, that is only the programming of single mothers, okay? Mothers who hold values and come from marriage are not telling their daughters to get out here and hoe. Like, that was 2 generations ago when they felt like they were being forced by the men. But then now we all out here free, and free to do what? Like, I don't know, y'all. If I get into the other stuff I would want to say, I'll go on a tangent. So instead of doing that, I will stick to today's topic. So, the 2 categories: young and dumb and old and stupid. So then there are a bunch of subcategories which matter the most, right? Subcategories are the same on the both 2 main ones. How many did I name? I personally listed 6 different ones, and we will go through them. I think these 6 categories are the most important, and they're not in any particular order. It's not the most important to the least important. It's just the order as I was thinking of them. So don't think they're chronological. So the first category is a love child. The love child category. That is a baby that was created during a relationship, or multiple babies that was created during a relationship. Do I need to say this disclaimer before I go into this? Yeah, I'll say that at the end. So a love child, so those are relationship babies. To me, personally speaking, because this is my podcast, I think these are, I would tread lightly with these people. And it's like, why would you tread lightly? Like, most people like dating people who have love children, but I feel like those people are the most radical. I feel like it's like, what the hell? You? But no, I think that's really crazy to sit down and plan a baby with somebody who didn't marry you. I really think that's crazy. And you can say what you want about me, but I really think, like, I don't feel like, I know that children don't make stuff better. I know that for a fact. And children can be a hindrance to your life. Like, you are giving birth to someone. You are fully responsible for programming them. You are fully responsible for making sure you understand their personality. You have to learn how to discipline them. You have to make sure that they reflect the qualities that you need them to reflect in the world. Like, it's a lot of pressure. They're expensive. You know, they don't come with checks. Like, I see all you other moms who just give birth and your babies come with checks, but my baby ain't come with no check. So you gotta buy stuff for them and yourself. Like, maintaining your own personal self is a job. Like, it's a job in yourself to make sure that you are of sound mind, health, mentally and physically stable, financially well. That's a job. And then you mix that in and you got to do all of that for another person. Like, it's plenty of days where I have a bad attitude, but I can't come home and have a bad attitude because I got to be a mama. And you know, sometimes he can sense it, but it's like, I still got to be a mom. I don't get to be a douche to him. Like, I still have to care about his well-being. So you know, though, anytime somebody be like, I love you, let's have a baby, I know you ain't married me, I know you didn't commit to me, I know you didn't make a covenant with God, but you and me should have a baby, I think that's a bit psychopathic. I think that's really crazy. But you know, to each his own. Everybody has their own process, everybody has their own perspective, but that's just my opinion. Me personally, I don't like to date people who have love babies. They just assume that everybody is like them. They assume that you love the person you created your child with, and anytime they call they can get some. And it's like, that's not my reality. I only slept with my son's father one time. So I'm glad that your folk can call you and get some of you anytime, but that's not what goes on with me. And I hate that they think that that's just how everybody life operates. Like, I've never had baby daddy drama. Like, I've had issues with my son's father, but I've never had drama with him. Like, there was never a point in my life where it was he had an issue with me moving on because we never dated. There was nothing to move on from. So love child people come with more drama. They usually got more drama. You know, every time a woman has ever come to me, because y'all remember when women used to come to you as a woman? I'm coming to you as a woman. Every time a woman has ever come to me as a woman, she was somebody's baby mama. Like, every time. And it's like, sis, if this man don't respect your relationship enough, don't call me. Call yourself. But again, I wouldn't. But y'all do what y'all. Some of y'all see that as respectable for a woman to be with a man with a long period of time and have his baby. I see it as goofy. Next. Oops babies. This where I shine, because my baby a oops baby. Oops. And you know, though, literally unplanned. Oops. Now, oops baby can be any kind of baby. It can be with anybody. But then it's like, oops can happen with in any type of relationship is what I mean. Like, you can have a casual kid, that's oops, or you could be dating somebody and it's oops. But either way, oops. I would date somebody who has an unplanned pregnancy more than I would date somebody who has a planned pregnancy. And like, it's half and half, y'all, because I had to Google it. 50% of pregnancies are planned. So I could only date the 50% that life happened to them. Like, I like them ones better. Like, I'm gonna try on a baby with her. I like them people. I love them people. Them, holla at me. I prefer them. And then we have the casual babies. Casual babies is the opposite of a love child. We don't be liking those people. We have sex. We came here to perform a task. Task as in climaxing. And Jesus just so happened to give us babies in the process. Like, we didn't plan on doing nothing with this other person but having a good time. And other stuff happened, which essentially is why you just shouldn't be having casual sex or any sex at all with not your husband, because shit happens, y'all. Excuse me, because I'm working on my language. But stuff happens, and because in the event stuff can happen, because no birth control is 100% effective. You know, anytime we're participating in the act, we put ourselves at risk of reproducing for someone. So, you know, it's even worse when it's casual. But when it's casual, it's less drama. Every person that I've ever met that's had casual has always had less drama. The only time that they have drama is when they lying. Like, they be like, oh, like, I didn't really deal with her, but they really did. When you really don't deal with your child's mother and y'all have a kid, those women are so freaking cool. Y'all, when I be dating a man and I be able to get cool with the child's mother, Those be the mamas. Them casual mamas do not be caring. Like they, what's the new girl name? Yes, I want to go out with you and the new girl. Like they don't be caring because they just know that, like, they just want to meet you to know who their child is around and have a face to the name, and then they just want to make sure you're rational. Like they be living their own life. That other person never cares. So I highly suggest this category. And primarily because I'm biased, but also in addition to it just usually leaves less baggage. Like I didn't have enough time to abort. I didn't want to put my kid in the system. I'm a mom. That makes more sense to me than I was in love. He never showed me any qualities that he loved me back. He didn't marry me, but I had his baby. I just think, I don't know. Again, I am biased. I'm biased, but I think this casual is one of the safest options. Safest. And the next option, now these, don't touch these women. Buzz beater babies. Buzz beater babies. What is a buzz beater baby? We all know what a buzz beater is, but right before the time goes out on the clock. Time going out on the clock. When is the clock for the women? Our clock is at 30. 35 is when we enter geriatric pregnancy, and anything after the age of 35 puts you at high risk. I'm not here to argue with anybody about it. Talk to your OBGYN. Don't talk to me. Okay, so anything over the age of 35 puts you at high risk. I call babies created after 30 buzz beater babies, because you were trying to beat that clock. You know, most doctors will not recommend you getting pregnant after 40, especially if you've never had any children. So first pregnancy by 40, that's usually a really high risk pregnancy, and you're trying, baby, you're trying to beat the clock. I'm trying to hurry up and get that 24 seconds up there. You down to 2 seconds to get that shot, and then you like, I gotta hurry up and get this baby out of me. Like, and then these women will have a baby with anybody. I mean anybody. I have so many stories about these buzz beater babies. These women be living some mad fantastic lives. Tread lightly, okay? I would say not to date a buzz beater woman, because that is a reflection of her character. She is deceiving. She's a deceitful woman. She's a woman that's incapable of telling the truth, and she's willing to manipulate you to get her own needs met. I wouldn't dare touch no buzz beater woman, baby. I wouldn't date no woman who would be comfortable with having a buzz beater baby. Like, would you ever have a baby by any random person just because your clock is running out? If she say yes, run. The opposite way. Do not go past go. Do not collect $200 and block that hoe. Again, working on my language. Block that 3-0 flow. I said floor. Block that 3-0 foe. Do not let that 3-0 foe be a part of your life, because she's treacherous. She'll destroy you. She will destroy you. She don't care about nobody but herself and getting her needs met. And you think that won't transition into y'all relationship? You think all of a sudden she gonna become your woman and not be selfish? Don't touch that buzz beater woman. Leave her alone. That is a single mom you do not date, okay? And it's real easy to find this information out, because when did she conceive? How long were you with this man before conceiving? And these people usually don't even be dating these buzz beater babies. I should have asked my friend, could I tell his business on this podcast? I have a friend who recently just had it's not for him, but he had babies with a buzz beater girl. Like she gave him buzz beater twins, and it was very intentional. It was very intentional, like from point A to point B. Like this woman was sitting up here telling him she had to schedule an appointment to get Plan B. Y'all, Plan B is OTC. Plan B is next to the pads in the pharmacy at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens. It's not a pharmacy you can go to that you can't find Plan B. So when I was told the story, I was like, oh, she trying to trap you. 6 weeks later, we got a positive pregnancy test. Trapped. Which brings us to our next category. Trapper babies. These women are the same as buzz beater babies. They are not to be trusted. They are deceitful. These are the set you up babies, okay? Any woman that's willing to lie to you in the account to get your special sauce inside of her is not a good woman. These women, oh baby. And I don't like these kind of women. And I can give a good example of a woman like this, right? Right. And this was actually a married woman. She wasn't a single mom, but she was a married woman. But she was a setter-upper. And we all know her. I don't know her name, but Tom Brady.
21-year-old Tom got married in February 2009, and Bridget later married investment banker Andrew Frankel in 2015. Giselle told People magazine that she and Tom decided to focus on their respective careers and agreed to wait 10 years before having children. However, after spending so much time with Tom's son, Giselle had a burning desire to have children of her own. Within weeks of tying the knot, Giselle got pregnant, and they welcomed their son Benjamin in December 2009. Now, Lex and Giselle got married and welcomed their child all in the same year. In other words, they rushed through the newlywed phase and jumped straight into parenthood.
Listening to some stinking hot mess on RRG. That's where I go for celebrity gossip, but they keep the tea real, okay? And over there, she read an article where this woman, her name Giselle did an article saying that Tom told her he did not want to have children for 10 years because he wanted to focus on his career. Y'all, why she get pregnant 6 weeks later? She trapped that man. And people was arguing with me about my comment. Like, she didn't have enough respect for him to give him his wishes. He didn't have to get her pregnant. I promise to God that man was under the assumption she was on birth control. That woman was on birth control for all those years prior to them getting married. She ain't get pregnant. He did not think that she was gonna do that to him. They had a conversation. Usually when a married couple says that they don't want to have children, they usually agree to get on birth control. Talking about he should have got a vasectomy. Why should he get a vasectomy when he only wanted to wait 10 years? If you don't have your vasectomy reversed after 3 years, it can't be reversed. So that's a stupid plan. That's a stupid plan when she could just literally be on birth control. So that's an example of a woman setting you up. Like, they be lying. I know men who've been told I'm on birth control. I know a girl right now who I stopped talking to because she did this. She told this man that she couldn't have no babies. Ain't nobody tell her she couldn't. No physician had told her that she was, what is it, infertile? Is infertile the word? Nobody told her she couldn't conceive. She just told him she couldn't conceive because she hadn't conceived for a long time. She got pregnant. like within 90 days of dating this man, she got pregnant. I was supposed to get on birth control. Grown one. She was old and stupid too, y'all. She was old and stupid. She was up. And it was a buzzer beater baby. Actually, it was a buzzer beater setter up baby. Now that I think about it. So, yeah. No, stay away from these women. They make your life hell. And then a lot of these setter up, buzz beater, trapper women, they think they good women. But it's impossible to be a good woman when your character is not good. No woman of value is out here conniving, trying to figure out how she can trap a man into giving her a baby. Like, that's literally the opposite of a good woman. So no, don't deal with them. Don't waste your time because it's gonna be hell. That's gonna be hell. Like, dating them is hell. Dating them is hell. And then if you go over there, you might mess around and end up her next baby daddy, because what does she do? Trap men. you think she, no. Like, how do y'all be thinking these women be ending up with multiple baby daddies that just don't take care of their children? They be knowing what they doing, y'all. They be trapping them in. They be knowing, they can see. A woman can look at a man and know which man gonna take care of his kid and not. I don't care what nobody say. I can sense a deadbeat from a mile away. I can tell an active father. You can hear an active father. As a woman who dates single dads, and baby, I love me a single dad. Some woman says she ain't like dating single dads. Like, that's how I know y'all don't like good men. But I love a single dad. So how involved a man is into his child's life, how a man speaks about his child, the activities they be having their children in, like just they one-on-one time. Like, you can tell when a father is a good father. Like, if this man got a child and you've been talking to him for several months and the baby ain't never spent no weekend over there, sis, maybe, just maybe, he's a deadbeat. Maybe, just maybe. But whatever, to each his own. Y'all still somehow manage to have multiple baby daddies who don't take care of children. You went out and selected him. You said, I know buddy over there is a deadbeat and he's gonna help me play into my role as being a victim, because we like to be victims. So I'm gonna have his baby, and then when he don't show up and be a good man, I can just be like, well, he sucks, when sis, you really suck. And then the last category I'd like to cover, I call this the selfish and conniving, but then I wanted to give it a better name, and I called these the by any means necessary babies. These women will lie, steal, they will kill to get a baby. These are the women that they will steal your sperm, y'all. Like, they will steal sperm, they will go buy sperm, they will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to become a single mom, they will put themselves at risk, they will buy anything you can think of that's extreme, that don't even make sense. Like, why would you want to be, you know, you ain't got no man at the house and you spend $1,200 on a vial of sperm so it can be turkey based into you? Why would you want to be a mom? Why would you intentionally want to bring a baby here with somebody who you cannot identify? That literally gives a child trauma, because children crave to know the other half of them. I've shared my story. So you're giving your baby a disadvantage. Immediately upon being created, your child is going to have an emotional disconnect from their father because you went to a bank to get their daddy. So yeah, I just don't think those women crazy as hell. Like, I'm at the end of my life and I just really need a baby. Or by any means, leave those by any means necessary women alone. They are not worth dealing with, okay, at all. And because by any means necessary, she might have to get a baby out of you. Do you want to be her next baby daddy? No, you don't. So instead of trailing along over there, I'm just gonna save you the trouble and let you know what to look for before you get over there. What questions to ask? What questions should you ask? Ask these women, how long did they date their child's father? How long were you and your baby dad together? That's easy information. Me, I would say never. We never were one night stand. Lover baby women, X amount of years. Those trapper women, they gonna let you, they gonna try to lie, because they don't be liking to be honest. They be trying to you know, we dealt with each other for a little while. It was like off and on, and get more into it. Did you and your child's father plan your baby? Mine is really easy. No, one night stand, condom never broke. We ain't plan to do nothing. We planned to have sex. The plan didn't go accordingly. Lover babies. I absolutely planned my child. I think that's crazy as fuck again, babe. I think that's crazy AF. But if you decide that that's a woman worth wifing, go for it, buddy. You know, you can always ask. A woman, by any means necessary woman, usually doesn't plan the baby with the father. She plans the baby with herself, and you will find that out, because those women are probably really narcissistic. But I am no diagnosed psychologist, so I will not be sitting up here pretending like I can do that. But they will say like, oh, I wanted a baby. I wanted a baby. steer clear of those I wanted a baby women, because by any means necessary, I'm gonna do what I can to get me a baby. I wanted a baby, so I had a baby. Stay away from those women by any means necessary, because they cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like, I really think that's some crazy shit to, like, I genuinely, like, I'm sitting here and I'm trying to rationalize the idea of wanting to have a child with no father. Who gonna help you? Do you give them more siblings? Do you have a ton of sperm babies from the bank? Sperm bank babies? Like, how many do you have? I'm glad I mentioned that, because I don't want to end this episode without mentioning this. There is a child limit. I believe there is a child limit. I personally, because again, I'm biased, because if single motherhood is a mistake, and this is genuine. If single motherhood to me is supposed to be a mistake, you're supposed to learn from your mistake the first time. You shouldn't have to keep making that same mistake. I'm not gonna keep putting my hand in fire and realizing that it burns me. So if you had one kid and it was hard and you didn't have anybody to help you, a husband, it is absolutely bat as crazy to go have another baby. I just really don't think women with multiple children should be dated. That's gonna cause controversy for sure, because it's like, how the heck dare you? But I really, first of all, it's too much. It's too much, it's too risky, it's too hard, it's just too much roll of the dice. It's too much roll of the dice. It's too many energies. Do you have multiple children fathering these events? How many men is this man gonna have to deal with coming into your life? And you just keep making bad decisions. And for me, I'm not saying that you don't deserve a man. I'm just saying you gotta wait till your kid get 18. So whenever the youngest one get 18, that's when I suggest you get outside and start dating. And you shouldn't be able to date a moment before. And that's only because, like, being in YouTube keeps me in spaces that are really freaking sad. And the amount of harm that people go through because their parents have to work full-time jobs is crazy. And children who are in single parent homes tend to fall victim to more harm. And you can fill in the blank however you may with that statement, but they seem to go through a lot more because they're left with no safe haven. It's not as much support. They don't have as many eyes on them, and they're subjected to a lot. So instead of continuing that cycle and making things worse, I just think that women who have multiple children should just focus on their children. Like, dating isn't easy. Like, dating as a mom is very difficult. Like, first of all, I be tired as heck. Like, y'all, it's late. It's 11:22. I never stay up this late. And when I do, I'm usually always exhausted. Like, I'm typically in bed by 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like, I be exhausted. Like, my days start between 4 and 5 a.m. So I don't like being up late. I just don't enjoy being up late. So if I don't like being up late, and I had a whole day at work, I worked till about 5 o'clock on average. I gotta come home, I gotta be a mama. I require myself to spend time with my baby because I need to know how his mental health is. He is a young black boy in America, and they be trying him. He be getting tried, and we gotta talk about it. So I gotta make sure he's in a good space, eat, and then I gotta prepare for bed. So by the time I get off, I only got 3.5 hours. So I'm sleepy by 8:30. I don't really get time to pillow talk. I just don't be having, I don't know. So dating as a mom is very hard. And then if you mix that in with all of the hats I like to wear, like my home baking business and trying to be a podcaster, and my role as a member of my church, just everything. And then I still don't do everything that I would like to do. Like, there are so many more things I could be doing. So it's hard. And then one reason men don't be liking to date me is because I'm a busy beaver. Men don't like busy women. So I respect it, but in the same breath, I'm not allowed to request for a man to come pay my bills the second he walks through the door. Therefore, I feel like it's crazy to say you don't like busy women, because it's either you like a busy woman or you want a woman that wants you to pay her bills. It's only one or two things, because I'm not busy because I like being busy. I don't wake up every morning and be like, Lord, please fill my plate up with so many things that I'm overwhelmed. I never pray for that. That's just what happens. So I would love for somebody to come and alleviate some of the, but reality is I already have a structure, a life, a person I have to provide for, and I don't be getting the ability to slow that down because a man takes interest in me. It's unfortunate, you know. Luckily for me, my kid is 12, and I gotta find something else for him to do, y'all. He's been really angry lately, so we have to find another way to channel that energy. So that means what? More of my time is gonna be taken away. Oh, he also does tutoring too, y'all. Like, he go to tutoring too during the week. So that's like I have a busy schedule. So dating is difficult, and I got one kid. I couldn't imagine trying to date with buku kids. Like, sis, no, you don't need to date. Wait till the youngest one 18. And if you put yourself in a position where you had a buzz beater baby, and your buzz beater baby won't be, let me see, even I can do 18. Let's do 30. If you have a buzz beater baby at 30, I mean, you can't get back outside till you're 48. And that's a personal choice that you made on your own, because you're the one who decided to have a baby old. You're the one who decided to have a baby without a husband. And you need to focus on your new job, your important job, which is motherhood. Like, if you didn't decide to get the husband before all of them kids, and I'm saying this specifically for women who has more than 2 children, because I will let you roll the dice with, I made the mistake twice. Like, maybe the second guy, y'all was about to get married and your birth control failed you and you don't believe in abortions. Maybe, just maybe, I'll roll the dice with that. But when you get to trading into 3+ veal, don't touch them damn women. Leave them women. Don't date them. Do not have sex with them either. Don't have sex with them. 3 kids plus means she's fertile. You want to go over there rolling the dice if you want. I wouldn't be putting my pecker in that chipper, but we all get choices. And you know, men like to be radical too. Men like to make crazy decisions too. They be out here doing stuff, because it seems like every time I blink my eye, some man is with some trash baby mama. Ain't Sexy Red pregnant again? But carrying on. So ultimately, I want people to understand that single moms are not all terrible people. We're all not in the same category. That's one thing that I absolutely dislike as a single mom and trying to date. Everybody assumes that all of us ended up in the position that we're in by the same choice, and unfortunately that's just not the reality of it. We can generalize and say, yes, most black women have children, comma, all of us don't have children under the same circumstances. So if you're going to, because if you don't believe single moms should be dated, fine, turn this video off. It's not for you, buddy. But if you are fine with dating a single mom of 1, a single mom of 1 to 2 children max, if you're fine with doing that, understand that you need to get to know her and learn her circumstances. Do not assume that she falls into any of these categories. The favorite category people like to pick is lover babies. Everybody assumes that you were in love, especially when I tell them I was young and dumb. They're like, oh, he was your high school sweetheart? Like, no. No, he wasn't, y'all. Like, no, I wouldn't have no high school sweetheart and be no damn pregnant. Again, I think that's stupid. I think that's stupider than what actually happened to me. I think that's dumb. I think it's dumb to be like, oh my God, we're 16, we're in love, let's have a baby. That's goofy as hell to me. You have to trap me. I gotta be trapped. Ain't no way I would have been like, no, that's goofy. So don't assume that women are creating babies out of love. Don't assume that everybody is a hoe and just was out here hoeing. Excuse me. Don't assume every woman is a 304 and 304 creating babies. Find out, learn them, get to know them. Ask the questions. How long were you with your child's father? Was your child planned? Are you willing to do anything in your power to get yourself another baby? Like, find these things out. Ask your own questions. If you have any questions that you think should be added to the list, feel free to drop them in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. I didn't say that since the beginning. Excuse me. But yeah, I feel pretty satisfied with this recording because I don't feel like this was a bad one. So I'm looking forward to editing it. But yeah, guys, all single moms are not terrible. All of us are not in the same circumstance. Just sit down and get to know one of us one day. If you're interested. If you're not interested, who cares? Turn this video off. But if you wouldn't mind dating a woman who made a mistake, because these single moms we talking about, if you don't mind dating a woman who made a mistake and you can forgive her like the Lord has, and you have grace in your heart, and you want to try one, remember these categories I'll share with you. And remember to pay attention to the signs, know what to look for. You know, really learn to get to know them. Because most single moms, I will say most single moms, we usually don't play games. Like, we usually know what we want, and we usually can express ourselves the best, and we usually show up and show out. Like, I show my value immediately. I'm so sick of people telling me not to show my value immediately. I show my value immediately, okay? Because I am a single mom. Like, I don't have time for someone to be sitting here questioning me and what do you bring to the table? And like, why should I date you? Because you're a mom. I'm gonna show you why. I'm about to show you why I'm the best option, and if you don't decide to lock me in, you're gonna regret allowing me to flow away. Every man has allowed me to flow away. I'm gonna show you my value up front. Like, I just don't do that. I'm sure the questions about why I'm single is gonna come, but it's a lot of reasons why I'm single. Ultimately, is because I'm picky, but it's not because I don't meet good men. Okay, it's because I'm picky. All right, I don't like to be played with in any capacity, and people play games, and it's just a part of the culture. It's literally the culture. I have my older brother be like, I love playing games with girls, and he's 43. So if that's my grown ass brother, I just really don't. Everybody play with people. Like, sometimes I play with people too. Like, y'all want to play hopscotch? We about to do double dutch. I want to play too. You want to play? I want to play. I be tweeting. I be like, these people think I am a game of checkers. They just out here playing with me. I'm not no checkers. I'm a human. I got a heart. But yeah, y'all. So be careful. I just be out here talking too much. So I'm gonna wrap this up. So more housekeeping. If you're not following me on Instagram or Twitter, be sure to follow me there. Pick_Meek. And if you want to send me an email of any sort, feel free to email me, pickmeekpodcast@gmail.com. I like you guys. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on my next episode. Bye.